Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Glass Half Broken. This is Colin. How are you doing?
We're doing great, Colin.
I was not asking you, I was asking the listener.
Well, I'm still doing fine. Thank you for asking.
And who are you?
I'm listening to you.
I thought you said I'm
Alyssa. Alyssa Milano.
I'm a listener.
We have a special guest star, Alyssa Milano.
She's a huge fan. She's one of the 3 people that listen to this podcast.
That is really amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's such a honor. That's completely not true at all. It's
the least true thing we've ever said.
But it's the best, least true thing we've ever said.
Hi, Alyssa. Anyway, this really.
I'm by far the best opening we've ever had.
Yes.
I think this is.
We are not drunk.
It's just awkward enough.
Just awkward enough.
This is Tom.
This is Erin, not Alyssa.
I believe I've already said that my name is Colin. Did I?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
You started.
We'll just roll with that.
All right. We'll pretend if it didn't happen, then we'll not edit that in.
Just
Lord.
awkwardly dub over. This is Colin. It won't even be his voice.
So how is everyone?
Not great.
Swimmingly.
Not great?
I'm just joking. I'm great.
Okay.
Indeed. So basically, we had kind of started. We had talked a little bit beforehand of things that we wanted to talk about. Why don't we start by saying that Tom, right before this, showed us Duck Army.
The fucking Duck Army, yeah.
I can't believe that exists.
Yeah, this streaked across the internet like a
Yeah.
month ago.
Yeah, a month.
And somehow these two had not seen it. But yeah.
Totally missed it. But that is fucking hilarious.
I'm more interested in Adam Savage of Tested and Mythbusters making the makeshift duck bomb.
Him with Will trying to.
Yeah.
It just kept going. I can't believe the squeak life on those.
It goes for a full 30 seconds, I think.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, it started out as this viral Vine of this guy at a pet store, and it's this bin full of these ducks. I think the the company actually calls them pelicans, but they're dog toys. And when you have one of them going, it's just like somebody just stubbed their toe,
It's like,
and it's like,
wow,
You
look
just
at that.
brick walled the audio. Thank you, Tom.
that's what I aim to do. And when you get a whole bunch of them together, it sounds like you just opened the gates of hell.
Don't recreate that one. That's all right.
Yeah, let's not do that.
But yeah, so Adam Savage, being himself, decided to try to use his engineering skills to make an optimal duck bomb.
Which, I mean,
He succeeded.
that's the dream when you get into
That is the
engineering.
dream.
Yeah.
When you get into engineering, it's basically like that's the
What
goal.
kind of
Like,
stupid
when do
shit
I
can I
get
build?
to make a duck bomb?
Time to duck bomb.
Yes.
That's what a lot of people want to know when they get into school.
But yeah, they threw that up on Tested's YouTube channel. You should definitely check that out. It's a life-altering event.
We'll wait.
That's all right. Yeah. They could just pause the video. Anyway, aside from that, Erin, why don't we start with the actual podcast and not talking about dumb videos,
Dumb internet
Tom.
But that's
Despite the
media.
fact that I was.
That's most of what I consume lately now.
Yeah, same.
It's like stupid internet videos.
But Erin,
Yeah.
what have you been watching, listening to, or doing?
I watched well, actually, it is just one season, and it just came out. Really, is Master of None on Netflix.
Oh,
It's,
the Aziz
Aziz
Ansari.
Ansari.
Okay.
Yeah, I started it, and it was one of those where I'm like, well, now I just need to watch all of it. So yeah, I watched it, and it was good. I thought it was funny, but it's not something that I'm like, thinking that was the greatest thing in the world. But I like Aziz Ansari, so
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I think we were having I think, I forget if it was you and I having the discussions. It was either you and I or Dad and I talking about how it's kind of weird, or it might have been even Tom and I. Somebody, myself, and one other person.
One other human
We'll
being.
get this.
We're talking
Out of the 7 billion other people on this planet.
we're talking about how like that sort of format of that show is kind of the format for like comedians now.
It is, yeah. It's very like it's like a budget Louis. Like
Yeah.
it's just not. It's like Louis started it.
Yeah,
And-
I think all three of us were having this conversation one day.
Yeah.
Or
Probably.
probably prior to the last podcast.
Oh,
We just
yeah.
didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that's like the new 2-camera format.
Yeah, and it's like with there's like Louis C.K. There's Mark Maron that has his thing, and then like Aziz Ansari. It's just sort of like it's funny. It's a cool thing, but at the same time, like I'm just waiting for that like you look at so many like British like comedians, and like they always try to do something weird or crazy or stupid or something like that, and then like with like a lot of like American comedians, it's just sort of like day to day life. I mean, it'll be silly and over the top and weird, but at the same time, like it's the day to day life type of stuff. Even something like Portlandia with how like kind of out there those shows are,
Right.
Yeah.
it's still very like like let's take simple things and make them funny and stuff like that, and that's good. But then like I also do watch, you look at something like, say I think what was the show that it was like a sketch comedy show that you showed us that
That Mitchell and Webb look.
yeah or something like that, and I always think I always think to myself like that goes so far out there that it's just like that's like barely even like,
It's so bizarre, but that's what I love about it.
yeah,
Well,
it's,
I
it's
mean,
great.
I mean, British comedy always kind of erred onto the side of like being just surreal as shit.
Oh yeah, it's like they, as soon as they start getting into serious territory, it's like, no, I need to get naked right now. we cannot have this serious. No.
Yeah, and it's interesting how there was an interview just recently on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert where he was interviewing John Cleese, and it was interesting. He was saying how him and the team pitched Monty Python to BBC, and like none of them knew what like they basically went in with nothing. With
Really?
absolutely nothing, and there's we want to make a comedy show, and then they're like, all right, well, is it going to have music? And then they all look around, and I don't know. And it's like, well, is it going to have this or is it going to have this? And they're like, I don't know. And then
We just want to dress up as women.
yeah, so yeah, basically they came in with like nothing, and then they were just like, all right, fine, yeah, we'll get you 13 episodes, and like they just did it. They just gave it to them.
That's awesome.
And-
I mean, I think that's similarly to like the young ones and all of that.
Well,
that,
the young ones, they were already doing the comic strip, right? Or they were.
I don't know what came first.
Well, at the
but-
same time with Monty Python, they were all doing stuff.
Yeah, they would. I mean,
They were already on
they were already
Do Not-
comedians. They weren't just like some guys. That
Oh no!
just
They did,
walked in off
oh,
the street.
that was very. I mean, that was very true.
Right.
They were doing like "Do Not Adjust Your Set" and some other and David Frost, and but yeah, it was something like the young ones, and like that, and you see that more in like British television, and like they're always ready to like maybe not so much anymore, but like I think John Cleese was saying like back then they were just ready to just try new things and really take a chance. And I think now we're going to be getting more people a lot of like television networks taking more chances because of the internet and because of the fact that like if you want to have your crazy out there thing, it's just like you could just do it on the internet. You don't need some corporation to like come in and give you money for it. And like,
that is affecting their bottom line because more and more people are cutting the cord now.
oh yeah. So
Well, and the show Workaholics, those three guys did. They did YouTube videos before that,
Yeah.
and they got picked up by Comedy Central, and I think a lot of people think that, like, oh well, I'll just do the same thing, and Comedy Central's gonna see me, and I'll get a show, but that's why there's so many fucking awful
Yeah.
videos out there. But
yeah.
Well, I mean,
so-
yeah, it's what is that? Sturgeon's law? Like 90% of everything is crap.
oh yeah, you need to you have to
You
weed
said-
through
I'd say
it.
even
yeah.
like 95%.
Yeah.
yeah, the
99%.
percentage might be a little higher.
Yeah. So
Especially when you get YouTube involved and the barrier to entry is like 0.
yeah. So it's definitely it's all about it's generally like you getting yourself out there is one thing, but at the same time you kind of need a little bit of, I mean unless there are a lot of terrible YouTubers out there that get billions of hits and stuff like that. But let's not talk about them.
I wonder who you could
We
be
hate
referring
them.
to.
I'm not talking about anybody. I'm talking about
Does it start with pew and
No.
end with pie?
no. He's amazing. I don't know. I hear he's a great guy.
I actually have never
I've-
seen a video of his, and it's not my demographic.
I have never been able to make it through one of his videos. Maybe that's just a sign of how old I am.
I don't know.
Right, I know,
I-
we're too old for
I'll-
that shit.
Once again,
I fucking love Game Grumps, but I can't make it through a fucking PewDiePie video to save my life.
I don't know. Yeah, and I like Markiplier as well. And he's
He's all right, and he does like the screechy like, oh my god, it's so scary, like thing.
But he does it in such a way where it's like he doesn't do it all the time, and he also has like when he's actually just talking regularly, he has a really nice voice, and he also has like,
he does have a very sexy radio announcer voice.
and he's very charismatic, like Markiplier, and PewDiePie's kind of not like and I think maybe that's part of it is because he doesn't have that charisma in his videos at least. And once again, I've heard that he's an incredibly nice person, and he too is very surprised that he got as popular as he did.
I think a lot of it is just people like finding his videos and like, hey, this guy does like 12 fucking videos a day. And then they're like passing around like, hey, check out this weird Swedish guy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just kind of a weird curiosity that turned into like a fandom. So it's like, yeah, I don't have anything against him or anything like that. I'm just not,
No, it's not for us.
no.
I have experienced physical pain while attempting to watch this man's videos.
Your brain does not process in between physical and emotional PewDiePie.
I know, hey, my eye's twitching now because we're talking about PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it might be your gallon of coffee that you're drinking.
No, it's totally not that at all. Let me just drink another.
The extra large Dunkin'
Dunkachino.
Donuts Dunkachino is the largest amount of liquid. Why?
It's not the big gulp.
It's not a big gulp,
Well,
No. Yeah,
but not, that's setting the bar awfully high to match the big gulp in
The big-
coffee form.
The big gulp is just a vat. It's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the vat that they put like the lard in or something like
And this
that.
is like a
And
small trough.
Yeah. The coffee trough.
I mean, this is like a trough you would
Trophy.
feed like a small horse out of, I think.
I believe it's called a pony. But as you could say small horse.
God,
like-
Colin,
but-
way to be a fucking brony, Jesus.
But
that's not being a bro.
that's what a small horse is called, Tom. It's,
Just drink your coffee.
drink your coffee.
Drink your trough.
So speaking
I
of,
can't even drink it loudly out of the stupid
so
lid.
anyway, okay, Master of None. So you
Okay, yes. Right. I give it, if we're going to do a star thing, I don't know, it was about a 3-star series. Like, I think it was...
out of what?
Out of like 30 or
not-
5 or
out of
35?
the typical, I don't know, what is it, 4, 5? What, or no,
If you're- if you're-
restaurants are 5.
If you're going by Ebert's scale, it's
What-
4 stars.
Okay.
Ebert's dead.
He still has a scale.
Yeah,
That has lived on.
lived on in Roper and that other guy who I can't remember the name of.
Mazza.
Manatee?
He has a very Polish last name, I believe, or something like that. I forget his name, but
Something
he was on.
ski.
He was on.
3 stars out of 4.
Okay.
Master of none.
Very good. All right.
So do you know if Aziz Ansari actually wrote that? Or,
He did, yeah. Him
Like,
and,
is he the main
Alan
writer, or
Yang
is it? Like...
yeah. So I mean, I guess it's kind of a
Were they-
group effort, but like they get. Oh, and Eric Wareheim is in it, and he directs pretty much all of the episodes.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like it's not Tim and Eric humor. Obviously, it's because I mean that's just their brand of strangeness. That's an entire episode in itself of talking about Tim and Eric, but. He does a good job of. I mean, I think he's directed a bunch of other stuff too. He directs music videos, and he's actually behind the camera more often than I think that he is. And
Behind the camera more than you'd feel comfortable with.
more right. He's a little, I found out he's 6'6". I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's a very tall man.
He's huge.
I've
Was
seen
he
him
just like bending down?
No, but
Viewfinder,
well, and
or-
then Aziz Ansari is like 5-something. So they're walking down the street in a scene, and then they talk about stuff like, "What's it like being a giant?" And he just looks just obscenely tall.
Mhm.
But anyway, that really doesn't matter at all for the acting. But yeah, I like him a lot, and he's and I can't remember who else is in it. There's nobody else really that I can think of, but yeah. So it's Aziz Ansari has, I guess he's created it or something, and so he plays somebody he's pretty much himself, but with a different name. He goes by Dev Shaw, and Dev lives in New York, and he's
Because
trying to
every
become,
sitcom has
right,
to be in
it
New York.
has to start in New York, and he has this kick-ass apartment that you're like, you don't actually, you can't afford that off of off of the money that you're making.
His
and
loft
not
has a
making.
loft.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like kind of ridiculous. I don't know. Like that's why I say it's like Louis with I don't know. It's like Louis with more life lessons, and which is not necessarily a good thing.
Does he
No.
talk? Does Aziz talk directly into the camera?
No, he does. Oh, thank God.
Hey guys.
Yeah,
God,
I'm gonna set aside for just a second. I gotta tell you, if you're ever thinking of,
I don't know. I think. I mean, knowing his type of comedy, I think he could pull that off. Just like-
be like, "Oh, Aziz is talking to me."
where he just like turns his head. He's just got a
give
cocktail
it a
inside.
yeah, give it a Tom Haverford thumbs up. It's like, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. People are wanting a season 2, but I think it wrapped up pretty nicely with season 1. I think that's where American shows need to
Learn from British
learn
shows.
from British shows
Sometime-
to stop it when it's it's like don't just keep going because you either want to make more money or somebody.
Yeah.
You mean like every single American show?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and that's why it's like, there's only like 2 or 3 seasons of IT Crowd, or we're just talking about like young ones. There's like what, like
It's 2. Yeah, it's like
13 episodes or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Like, and
It was like 2 half seasons or something like
Right.
that.
yeah, and then
it's
like
perfectly fine.
yeah,
it's
and
enough.
and not just that, not just British shows, but then also Flight of the Conchords with Jermaine, like
Yeah.
and then like they're from New Zealand, and they stopped after I think like 2 or 3 seasons or something like that, and the only reason was that they were just like
They wanted to
that's
do
fine.
something else,
Yeah,
too.
they were
Yeah,
just they were
I
just
mean-
like this. That's fine. We don't want to run this into the ground. Let's just end it right
Well,
here.
that's like American comedian Nick Kroll. He did Kroll
Yeah.
Show.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember Nick Kroll.
And and like that show is funny, and but yeah, he stopped it at 3, I think, and he said specifically, he's like, I'm going to end these characters now because there's nothing else that I can do with them, and I don't want to run it into the ground. I don't want them to overstay their welcome. And
Yeah.
I thought that was very good. I think more comedians need to do that and not just keep going because they're like, well, I found this character that works and I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. And
Yeah.
you're going to like it.
Man, that's
Although I think also like I don't think he was getting paid $1 million an episode.
No, probably
do
no,
those.
I'm sure not.
I,
But
I think with some of the other examples we're probably thinking of, that may have been a factor.
yeah.
well, money is always a factor.
Yeah, and the thing about with like Flight of the Conchords, I believe they were like all set to just have that keep rolling, and that HBO was going to throw so much money at them and stuff like that, and they were just like, dude, like,
We're kind of done.
we're done, like yeah, and then they both went on to be incredibly successful. It's Jermaine Clement, and the other guy is Mark McKenzie.
I don't
No,
know.
Brett. I'm sorry, Brett McKenzie.
I can't remember their
Are
names.
you-
Yeah, it's Brett. I don't know why I thought Mark. All right. Anyway,
They're from New Zealand. I'm not obligated to remember their names.
no.
Wow.
But like Brett went on. He won an Oscar.
He did?
Yeah, because he wrote. Because he wrote the
I'm
music.
not up on Oscars.
He wrote like a lot of the original songs for the Muppets. And,
Oh.
and one of them won the Oscar for Best Original Song. So he won, and then Jermaine Clement has been like doing like a ton of different like indie comedies.
So you could say that the Flight of the Conchords went on to write award bait.
Yeah, maybe something like that. It wasn't award bait. Like the song that he won for it was not. Like,
Oh, no? All right.
it's the Muppets. Like
Wow.
it was just a
He
silly
didn't
little-
like write a sweeping
right.
epic of a
No,
song.
it was it was just a song called like "Am I a Man or a Muppet?" And it was just a silly little.
God, I have to.
It's a great movie, by the
I
way.
have to
Really?
catch up on the. I have to watch the show.
I heard the show is
I heard it's
fantastic.
so fucking good.
Yeah, I've heard it's fantastic.
I keep experiencing it in GIF form.
Oh yeah, like there's I see like little clips of it here and
Yeah.
there, and it's all great. And I wanted to see a Muppets. I saw the Muppets. I didn't get to see the Muppets Most Wanted. But like, yeah, the Muppets is
I haven't seen any of the recent output from them, but
it's so good.
It's supposed to be really on point. Yeah.
I know. I surprisingly, I mean, with having kids, we have not, because I'm kind of the old school, like, no, we're gonna watch the Muppet movie and we're gonna watch the Great Muppet Caper, and this, like,
those are great too.
Right, exactly.
So you're having your kids watch them in order of release.
Right. I just didn't know. I hadn't heard much about
the
new
Muppet
stuff.
mythos.
So
the Muppets.
I didn't want to be disappointed, you know.
Oh no, the original, well, not the original, but like the first in the, I guess, reboot, which is like the Muppets from like a couple of years ago, with Jason Segel, it's fantastic. It's really funny. They got like, and it's like filled with, it's as usual, like all the other Muppets like movies. It's filled with celebrity cameos, but they're pretty good in there. Oddly enough, Jack Black is probably the most prevalent in there because they kidnap him to have him in their show. And
does he play?
Well, he is
himself.
He is pretty much a
himself.
Muppet.
Yeah.
I mean,
He really is.
And it's kind of funny. They like this
Animal.
Thus, it's kind of weird that it's one of the only movies or one of the only things that makes fun of the idea of trigger words.
Oh, really?
Which is weird. Yeah, they make fun of like triggering. Which is weird because you wouldn't think the Muppets would be the ones to do that, but at one point,
well, I know the recent show that's still going is going into more adult territory.
Oh yeah, like, well, I mean, they make a like the one thing I've heard of, I was just like Fozzie was on a dating website.
Yeah,
he's just sort of like
he was looking for the wrong kind of bear,
or it's like he was just sort of like, when you say you're a young bear, like you really get a lot of undesirable. And
Muppets have always been, like Muppet Show from the 70s and early 80s. That was like
true.
Adults,
they would
humor.
You don't think about it offhand, but yeah, that show got pretty. Oh God, what was the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I mean,
there's
adults
like a fucking hemorrhoid joke in there.
you put a hemorrhoid joke in a kid show.
You could put that in Dora. I don't know.
Dora the Explorer. But
she's like at the doctor. She like asks him about about her hemorrhoids, and she just like stares at him for a good 30 seconds of silence.
What's the Spanish word for hemorrhoid?
Hemorrhoido.
No, it might be asteroido.
Oh goodness. Anyway, what is it? I don't know, Colin. What have you been consuming?
I haven't really. I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4. We talked a lot about that last week. We can kind of talk a little bit later.
I've been playing Fallout 4 as well.
Yeah. You actually you called me because you couldn't figure something out in Fallout 4. You're like, how do I?
Yeah, because I've been on average I've been getting like 4 hours of fucking sleep every night.
So it's like,
not because of Fallout 4, but because of like, other extenuating circumstances. But
yeah. But I watched a video on the internet. This has nothing to do with Fallout 4. We can talk a little bit about Fallout 4 later, but
I have opinions on Fallout 4.
Okay, well, hang on just a second.
They're very important.
We were just talking about comedy, so I figured I'll talk about the thing comedy related.
Oh my
Please
God.
don't do that.
Oh,
Oh my God, Colin. Why do you have to be such a buzzkill?
Buzzkill. That Buzzkill was a good show.
Oh my God.
Do you remember Buzzkill?
I don't remember Buzzkill.
You don't remember
No.
Buzzkill?
That was
90s.
precursor to Jackass. Like,
So,
that was...
not really. Okay. Well, here, this ties into the thing I was going to talk about.
All right, school me.
Prank shows, but Jackass was just sort of like, let's do stupid things and film it, whereas like Buzzkill was an actual legitimate prank show, and they really went all like Buzzkill actually had really clever pranks and like really good, like they actually did a really good job with that. And one of the ones that I remember and I thought was probably one of the best pranks like of any like prank show was a guy in a like they would have one. It was three dudes. It was one of them was Dave Sheridan, who who's now he's a comedic actor. He does a lot of other stuff. It was Dave, Travis, and Frank, and it was like I believe it was Travis was in a mall parking lot, and he was posing as a guy that had his car, and he would let people basically what he did, he had like a big megaphone, and he basically said like, all right, you want to take out your aggression on my car, and then, so he basically would say like, you write a name of someone you hate or something like that, and then just smash it or something like that, and like I'll write on my car, and
I think I remember this.
and then like people would gather around, and like he amassed this like crowd of people that would just like all just smash his car up and stuff like that, and so then after a while, and everyone's like, yeah, woo, this is fun, and so and after a while, one of the other ones, I think it was like Frank, came out with like some security guards, and he's like, my car, oh my god, and then everyone was like, what? And so then like they're dragging Travis off. He's like, no, it's my car, and like, and like. And so it's like, so they really like, it was really a clever show, and they did a lot of funny stuff, and so just recently I was watching a video that's kind of gone viral. It's these prank guys. I don't know. I've heard of this group. I've never seen any of their videos except for this one. They're called like Smosh.
Yeah,
or
SMO.
Smosh.
Once again, we're all showing our age because they're
I know it.
very fucking popular YouTube channel.
Are they really?
Yeah, they are.
I've only ever I've heard of them. I've never actually seen any of their stuff.
We're in our 30s.
They're a bunch of 30-somethings.
Yeah. Damn kids.
But anyway,
They have their own movie.
they have a movie.
They have their own movie. It's supposed to be terrible.
Oh, okay.
Even if you like them, their movie is supposed to be fucking terrible.
So anyway, the prank was like, apparently they were gonna prank Jennifer Lawrence, and then there was a kid like through like the Make-A-Wish Foundation or something like that. He wanted to prank Smosh, or he wanted to prank them or something like that, and so
It's an awesome wish.
and then Jennifer Lawrence, along with Josh Hutcherson and Liam Hemsworth, all got together, and they're like, all right, we're gonna prank these guys. So the whole Smosh prank was in hindsight, it's kind of a shitty prank. It wasn't really that, like, their prank, the Smosh prank, wasn't that good, because all it was is, we're going to give a shitty interview to Jennifer Lawrence. And that was it. Like, that was the entire prank, he was just going to ask dumb questions and be stupid.
Oh.
That was
Wouldn't you kind of expect that from them, though?
If
you knew who they were?
I don't know.
If we knew.
If I knew anything about them.
Then sure, yes, I totally expected it.
I totally expect that kind of dumb assery from these assholes. No, I don't know. Anyway. But then, like, she would like basically come back and just not be receptive about it, and get just super pissed off and offended. And then they would like cut to because there was like one guy that was in like there was one guy interviewing it, and then the one guy in his earpiece telling him what to say, and then they would cut to the guy in the earpiece just looking like he's just he's just panic. Like, they had this thing called panic mode like on the bottom of the screen, and he's just going like it's like, oh, this isn't going well. She's not. Oh. And so that but then Josh and Liam and then the kid were like on the other, like telling Jennifer what to say, and just sort of like it's just like misunderstand what he's about to say next, and or something or something like that, and then. And eventually she just rips the microphone off. And she's like, you know what, this is whatever, and she just storms out. And she does a really good job because she seems like legitimately pissed.
Well, she's a good actress.
She is an actress.
And she is an Oscar-winning actress, for a reason. And then afterwards, it's like Liam Hemsworth and Josh Hutcherson come in, and they're just like, what went on here? What happened? And the guy's like,
That's amazing.
And it was pretty great. And then the kid comes out, and then it's just sort of like, pranked you. So I don't know if it was for Make-A-Wish Foundation, but I want to say it was for some kind of like charity thing for his wish was he was like a fan of Smosh, so he wanted to prank them. So I was just like, it's pretty cool.
That's
I'm pretty sure a kid like that would be in the age group to be a subscriber to Mosh.
Yeah, or
Smosh rather.
Smosh.
Smoosh. It is Smosh.
Smosh. Okay. And that
God, we're old.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But at the same time, that kind of got me thinking of where the idea of like the prank show is kind of like slowly kind of died away. I know, Erin, you were talking about a prank show that you like on the True TV.
Yes, Impractical Jokers.
So yeah, I've not seen
a very funny show.
So I've not seen it. So like, what exactly is the format for?
The format is actually it's similar to. Well, it's not Buzzkill actually. It's it's these four guys who are their lifelong friends, and they just are out to embarrass each other, and they have these challenges where they and so yeah, each one has an earpiece, so they go out like, okay, they go out in the middle of a square, a town square, and I think they're probably in New York or wherever they are, and so they're like, all right, I need you to your challenge is to get people to agree to your weird opinions, or get you to sign this petition.
Yeah.
And they don't know what the petition is. I feel like we've talked about this before, but
Have we?
I think so.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe without me, I don't remember this.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, I apologize for the several listeners that we'll have someday if I'm repeating myself. But yeah, they don't know what it is. I mean, this is just a very
This is like one.
just
joke.
one of the many
practical
things they do.
jokes. Okay.
So they don't know what the petition is until so they stop a group of people and they're like, excuse me, can I get you, this is a really important cause to me, and it's so that and then they flip up the paper and it's just like, supporters of men with micro penises. It's like myself. Yeah, and then he's got to get them to sign it and talk passionately about the fact that he has a micro penis, but he has an earpiece, and so they keep telling him stuff like, actually it reminded me of misunderstand the next question, or say this, or start singing about sucking toes or something like that to yourself. There was one where the one guy, he's sitting on a tram. And they're like, okay, so then just sit there and start. It's like sucking toes. I love sucking toes. It's like just sing to yourself, or and then there's another one where then the other guy gets on the tram and he's like, ask to borrow $1 from the lady behind you, and then so he asks to borrow it, and then they're like, now rip it in half and say money means nothing to me. And so he has to do it, or else they get thumbs down. And if they fail the challenge, then they have whoever gets the most thumbs down is the punishment round. And so then they just end up just pranking the shit out of the punishment. The guy who's getting punished. And it's actually really funny. I watched that because I don't like flying. So on the last trip that I made, I watched that the whole time, and it just took my mind off of where I was, and it was one of those it's a good show for that. It makes you just not think about anything important at all, and then you just laugh your ass off.
They do make pills for that, though.
Yeah, but this is my kind of drug.
Stupid comedy.
Stupid comedy is my drug of choice.
But
sir.
Yeah, there have been some clever prank shows that have come out of different countries. I know, I remember, I want to say we're going on almost 10 years, but there was a show called Trigger Happy TV.
Oh God,
that would do.
I remember that.
Kind of dumb. They were pretty good for a while, and then they started repeating jokes over and over again, and it was just all right, you've done this 5 times already. So, but
that was a British show, right?
Yeah, it was from England.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that was also British brevity. So
but yeah, after a while, they just start, because there was one where it's a guy with a giant cell phone, and he would just shout into the cell phone in public, and it was funny the first time they did it, but then they started.
Was that the one where that was the Nokia?
Probably.
While there was I don't know, music was playing, what am I trying to say? There was live music playing, and then there was
I think I know what
the
you mean.
Nokia thing. That's something sticking out of my head.
Yeah, but yeah, Trigger Happy TV had done stuff like that, and another one, and this is going on almost 10 to 15 years. There was a show called Bonsai, and it was it was weird because it was an American prank show, but it was done by these Japanese comedians, and I don't know if they had done this in Japan, but they would do these.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that might be one of the rare times where you get a Japanese show adapted for American audiences.
Yeah, and then in the actual, but it was just this group of Japanese people, and one of them, one of the things that they would do is one of them would go out to interview celebrities out on the red carpet and stuff like that, and he was Mr. Shaking Hands Man, and he'd try to shake hands with them as long as possible. And then
I've seen that.
and then it was just silly little stuff like that. But
I've done that to people. I've done that to people in person. That's pretty great.
And then just keep going.
Yeah, and I think the longest like,
and then it gets more vigorous and more intense, and you just clench their hand that much harder.
Yeah, but it was kind of funny. I think the longest you ever, I don't know, I didn't watch like every single episode, but the longest that I had seen was like Adam Sandler just continued to just, humored him. He kept talking to him.
He went along with it.
Yeah, it was just like, and but like, yeah, it was interesting. I had I was actually read an interview somewhere with Peter Funt, who was the second and last I want to say it was about the second and last host of Candid Camera. It was the son of Alan Funt, who was the first host of the show, and he was saying how much prank shows now are terrible, and how Candid Camera was like, they would, like, the people would be in on the joke, but like, and then afterwards, like, of course, like I forget the exact thing he had said, but it was along the lines of like, like, oh, people would then afterwards be like, oh, I'm on Candid, oh, what the, so that, whereas like, and it would just be like, oh, hey, let's, you shake hands with them and everything's fine. And like shows now, it's like you just show how stupid people are and how like dumb everyone, and like how it's just like,
well, the goal is to piss them off.
Oh yeah, and the goal is to just piss them off, and like and so that, and I was like, and that is a good point, and so because I remember we used to watch a bit of Candid Camera.
What was that show that's on now? Like what would you do, or whatever it is? I think it's still running.
Well, it wasn't okay. Well, What Would You Do was a Mark Summers show on Nickelodeon way back when.
Okay, I'm thinking of the wrong.
But that was a completely different thing. There is something called What Would You Do now.
Yeah.
I always thought that was just a segment on a news show because basically because it's not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be like like people.
But it comes across
like,
as kind of like a prank show, like
they do it like a prank show, but it's like
but it's supposed to be dead fucking serious. I'm just like,
well, because it's like there's like one person that was like they're just dropping racial, sort of being super racist to someone.
Yeah,
like, what would you do if someone was being horribly racist or something like that? And it's just sort of like it's like it's more uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and then it's like he's like, okay, yeah, I guess you've proven some kind of point, but like
right,
and
I'm sure it's pretty uncomfortable for anyone who's like doesn't want to be surrounded by racist shit.
Yeah. But like and there's just weird stuff like that, and then and some of the I want to say some of the people that they hire to do stuff like that are actual like prank people, like they actually do like
that doesn't surprise me at all because once again that's how it always came across to me.
Yeah,
whenever I saw that.
Well, they have to have that willingness to go up to strangers and just say,
do shit like that. You almost get like another thing that I haven't watched in a while, but there's a thing called Mega 64, and they
god,
they
were fucking good. Well, they're still good.
They're still good.
I've seen a couple of the recent ones.
I haven't watched them in a while. I kind of stopped after a while, not because they were bad, but because they went so super embarrassing. Like, it was almost like it was. There are a few that are hard to watch because they're just so incredibly embarrassing, but it's Mega 64. It's all video game related, but because like they would basically take a game and then they would just kind of like either reenact it or do something related to it out in the world or something like that. And one of the earlier videos would be like
the River City Ransom one.
Oh yeah, or like there was one where because in the video game River City Ransom, you defeat an enemy and they drop change. You pick up the change and you use it to buy items and stuff like that. So for that one, they just went around and like they just went into public places and then had one of them just run up and just smack them in the face and then just drop all this change.
And then he would say like barf. Like he actually wouldn't like make the noise. He would just actually say the word barf.
Or you like barf or like weird shit like that. And then
he like looks at all the coins on the ground. And is like, God fucking damn it, and starts picking them up.
Yeah, and and then they do a bunch of other weird stuff. Oddly enough, despite the fact that there was such a weird kind of like they actually got hired by so many different like video game companies, like big name video game companies.
What I'm thinking of is like the Sony. I forget if it was a PSP or a Vita ad.
Yeah,
it was for Peace Walker.
It was for Peace Walker, and actually Hideo Kojima, the creator of Metal Gear, like actually like wanted them to do something for it. So they actually
that doesn't surprise me at all.
And he loves Mega 64, and it was. It was Rocco that like he took an entire TV and like on wheels and stuff like that, and he was like in like a convenience store, and he's just like, there's got to be a better way to play games on the go, and then like there's people who's like, excuse me, you can't, excuse me, sir.
You can't be here.
And this was an official thing for
And-
for
and
like,
yeah,
for like Konami.
And like we were talking about before, that's one of the ones that's just so fucking embarrassing.
That one I don't think was that bad. The most embarrassing one was one for Catherine, the game Catherine, because the video game Catherine is mainly about like this guy's cheating on his girlfriend, but then he has these weird dreams, and like you have to go.
It turns into Cubert.
Yeah, and it's like a weird puzzle game, but it's like all still about like dating and like it's just like a lot of stuff where like you get these choices of like, do you continue with this affair or do you want to like try and end this affair or something like that. It's an interesting thing, but it's all about relationships. And so for that one, it's just he basically like finishes the game and he's just like, I think I'm ready to go meet some girls, and he just basically goes around and just hits on women in the most awful, awkward way.
Oh god.
And it's super painful to watch. It's like, and he like walks up to a woman with in a stroller, like his two women, and like he's got like her kids with her, and
Holy shit.
and he's just like hitting on her and so like that, and it was that one. That one's the worst one to
That's
watch.
painful.
It was funny and it was really well, and like the fact that he has no reservations about doing that, it's like kudos, but it's like, oh, it was so painful to watch.
That hurts just thinking about it.
Yeah, but
Jesus.
it's pretty good though. Mega 64 is really
And
good.
then there's the one time that Rocco peed on Ouya.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And I think he got their YouTube channel banned briefly or
All
something
right, so
like
they might have
that.
been flagged because he was actually
Yeah.
like
He was actually pissing on it.
yeah, like so like of course you didn't see any like you didn't see his dick or anything
Well,
like
no.
that, but at the same time you saw an actual stream of piss going in like so it was just like
Unsimulated.
it's an unsimulated stream of piss.
Unpixelated.
Not a how to basic video.
No.
Oh god. How to basic.
I remember I introduced How to Basic. If you don't know what How to Basic is, maybe pause the podcast and go
Go check
How
out
to
some
Basic. And I remember I showed Tom that, and I was just like, oh, I think it was funny. And then the next several times we got together, we were like, let's watch more of these videos. And I'm like, damn it, I should have never shown you this.
Because now we have to watch all of them.
I'm still fucking watching this guy. It's really strange how they've escalated.
Yeah.
It's become this weird
Art form.
Dadaist thing.
Yeah, it really has.
Like,
And
where-
he's always barefoot, and there's always eggs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Always.
And I'm pretty sure in one of them you can see his dick, like for one frame.
Oh man, it's like that one part in like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You gotta just like freeze frame it at the right second just to see this dude's dick.
So you can see Jessica Rabbit's hoo-ha.
I'm like looking through the comments and like people like put a fucking timestamp in there, like go to timestamp for dick.
Yes.
And we're just like, all right,
Yes.
there's actually okay, all right. I guess he actually does fucking
Life
film these naked,
complete.
Yeah.
but
Actually,
yeah, it's like he doesn't even have the pretense of trying to do it
yeah.
to make a tutorial video where it's just like him just.
Just
There's a
destroying.
lot of grunting now.
Yeah.
Like lots of like half words, partial words.
I think he's done that a little bit before too, but
Yeah, but even more so now. I don't.
Yeah, it's just getting weirder and weirder.
There's a weird like how to basic mythos. I think. I should construct a timeline on the wiki.
No, that's
you
right.
do that.
So that's a thing.
God,
All right. How about
Help us
podcasts
all.
about YouTube videos.
all right? Well, why don't we move on a little bit? So you said you're playing a little bit of the Fallout 4.
Yeah, I think I'm like 10 hours in.
I'm like 30 hours in.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Congratulations to
Yeah.
you both.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm less than 10. I have like free rental coupons for Redbox.
Oh, okay.
So I've been renting it for a day and returning it and re-renting it. Yeah, I have, it feels like one of those, to me at least, it feels like one of those 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of things.
Yeah.
And the
That's
more I'm,
still a step forward.
yeah, I mean, the more I'm playing it, the more I wish I was playing it on PC. Because I'm just playing it on PS4 right now without any mods, and the people are already modding the game to fix the problems I have with the game. Like, like we were talking about the dialogue system last time. Like where
we didn't talk about it on the podcast though.
I think we touched on it a little bit. Like,
Well, the dialogue. Okay, well, like yeah, and
But anyway, you
yeah.
have like the 4 face buttons, and you can choose something to say,
Yeah.
and you always have exactly 4 things to
Yeah.
say.
But then you can so
But
some of them will go into other things to say as well.
Right.
But but at the same time, like at that point, just make a list of things to say.
But even then, it's like you just have these very short blurbs about like what you're saying, like yes, no, sarcasm, and then a
Yeah.
4th thing,
Yeah.
which may or may not be a charisma option.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a mod for PC now. Allegedly, they're putting mods on PS4, but I don't know if that's gonna fucking happen. I'd be surprised. But where
Bethesda's always
it just gives you the full text of what you're about to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm just like, shit. I feel like I should be that should be an option in the settings.
I mean, at the same time, like I would like I. Well, on one hand, I would be surprised if they actually did like mods on the PS4. On the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if Bethesda kind of like heard people out and were just like, all right, well maybe that'll be like an option, or maybe like I know BioWare, like I know with Dragon Age Inquisition, I know BioWare, I know different company, yeah, but like there were like a bunch of different like things that everyone's just like, oh, there's a mod to fix this, mod fix that, and BioWare was just like, let's just patch that into like the PS4 version too,
Right?
And
yeah.
so I could see them like doing something
But it's
like
like
that.
it feels like they're going for the whole Mass Effect thing
yes.
with the dialogue. But
It's a
they
little bit-
gave you more than 4 options usually.
Yeah, I mean, like, but yeah, and once again,
Like you would have like a little radial menu, right, for most of the games.
yeah, and like, and so yeah, once
Just kind
again,
of point to what you want to say.
yeah, and at the same time, they did, and Mass Effect does do a thing where like, yeah, they don't say exactly what, it doesn't read exactly what you're about to say,
But they
just
gave
the
you a
gist.
better gist of what you were going to say. It was more than
There-
yes or no or sarcasm.
Well, yeah, there was a couple times while playing Fallout 4, well, they've given me the gist of what I was going to say. I kind of didn't know. I was just sort of like, all right, like I want to say yes to this person, but it's like, or like I want to say this to this person, but I'm like, I don't know, like I don't know if this is going to come across like that.
Yeah.
And there are times when it's like I want to put together like I've put together like different like plot elements. I'm just like, oh, I know what's going on here, and then like I wonder if I say this, is that going to indicate that I know? And it's hard to explain, but
Right. You can't. It's hard to guesstimate where the conversation's going to
Yeah,
go.
I want to point the conversation in a certain direction, but the game is just sort of like, maybe it'll go in this direction. Maybe you'll talk about,
Yeah, it's
porn.
just like-
I don't know. Like all of a sudden, just
You know,
out of nowhere.
I can understand like, streamlining things.
Yeah,
To make systems easier to use and stuff like that. But this seems like just kind of adding an unnecessary layer of obfuscation.
yeah. And thus far, that's been like, aside from some inconsistent load times. Sometimes they're quick, sometimes they're not. Thus far, that's been like the biggest problem is the dialogue. That whole thing, but it hasn't been a game breaker at all or anything like that. But at the same time,
It makes it feel less Fallout.
yeah.
Because that was always a big part of the previous games, is that they
Yeah.
put a bigger emphasis on the role-playing part of it.
Yeah, and and you do like where I am right now. Like there is definitely more talking. There is definitely a little bit more of that. But at the same time, yeah, it's the dialogue isn't quite as witty and as satirical as previous games have been. Though I have come across some pretty good characters and some
Yeah.
pretty good stuff.
I just got to the first. Not to. I mean,
Whatever.
they tell you to go to this place in like the first hour of the fucking game. I mean, I just got to Diamond City.
Oh yeah, Diamond
and I
City.
met Piper.
Oh yeah, Piper's great. Piper's she's my companion. I love Piper.
She's my favorite character so far. That is not the dog.
Have you met Dick Valentine yet?
Not yet.
You're gonna love Dick Valentine.
Okay.
Dick Valentine is fantastic.
Am I gonna want to Dick Valentine?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, no, he's terrifying looking.
Okay.
But at the same time,
Wow, way to kink shame, Colin.
No.
Shit. Damn.
but at the same time, I still have Piper because it's like I don't know. Piper is definitely a I don't know. I like her character a lot. She's really good. So yeah. So thus far, like for me, it's getting better. The dialogue is getting better. The characters are getting better. The story is getting more interesting. So it's just like, all right, it doesn't it doesn't have a great like. Well, actually, no, here's the thing: it does have a great first impression because the prologue of like all the pre-war stuff and then getting frozen and doing all that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then for a little while, once you're doing stuff with Sanctuary Hills and Preston and the Minutemen, it's just kind of dull and it's really not that interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of like plowing through those ones with Preston just to get them done.
Yeah, but then once you get to Diamond City and stuff like that, and then like you start exploring and you find like a bunch of these different areas like that, it gets a lot better. So there is just a kind of this chunk of like right after the prologue. I guess you'd say like a chapter 1 of that game is not great, but then like it definitely has been picking up for me.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not like huge like game or deal breaking stuff for me.
Oh yeah, no,
nothing that can't be fixed with mods. I mean,
true.
The dialogue system, and I'm not a huge fan of the whole. I want to say base building, but they're not bases. You know, the
settlements.
whole settlements thing.
Yeah, it's not
because the interface sucks.
It's not great.
It's terrible. It's like one of the worst. It's probably the worst interface Bethesda has made.
Yeah. And the thing is,
I feel like I'm kind of delving into hyperbole there,
but at the same, and at the same time, like I definitely have not like I put some time into it, and then after a while, like I just basically like
you stop caring because it's like such a fucking chore to do everything.
It takes away from the actual fallouting. Like, you know, like it takes away from like you actually going out and playing the video game.
But it's just like, I mean, it could be so much better. Like if you didn't have to do it from the perspective of your fucking character.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like, because
you have to, like, when you make
props, real life, it's like you're first person, you pick up a couch, you can't just look above yourself. You're just some kind of crazy asshole. No, but yeah, you're totally right.
No, I'm just imagining somebody saying that,
like
somebody at Bethesda or some like.
I mean, yeah, but at the same
fan.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think that like, but it's like you don't really have to do the settlements that much. Thus far,
yeah, I know.
It's almost very Fable-y, where it's just sort of like, we're going to give you this thing you can do, and it's like, all right, what's the point? Like,
yeah, they do seem like they took now that I think it does feel like they took a lot of things from Fable,
a little bit like that, but like
especially with what they did with Dogmeat.
Yeah,
which I think is an improvement.
I think the fact that your companions can't die is definitely an improvement, because I never took out companions in previous games because they would just die immediately.
Right.
And so, so now
I think that was most people.
Yeah.
Or you'd just be stuck in like save loading hell.
Yeah. And so then like yeah, the only companions that are like, if there were super mutant companions, there was a super mutant companion in Fallout 3 with Fox, and then in New Vegas
Lily.
Fox
was like hand down the best companion in that game.
Yeah, and then in New Vegas it was Lily.
Yeah.
And then from that, so it basically, and those are the only ones that wouldn't die in one hit. So it's just like, all right. But now, yeah,
and it feels like it's exaggerating to say that, but sometimes they do get fucking insta-gibbed.
Yeah, and so now it's kind of interesting. Now it's kind of like, you know, they can basically, their HP can go down to 0, and then they're incapacitated until there are no enemies around.
Which is pretty much what Elder Scrolls does.
Yes, so I think that's definitely a lot better way to do that.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything else?
Fallout related? Not really, but I mean, it probably sounds like I'm bragging on the game a lot.
I still love it. I still think
it's
great.
I'm enjoying it. I just need to take a break from it because I feel like, because I'm renting it using free rental passes,
and if you're gonna
feel obligated to play it,
and at the same time, like, if you're gonna restart it on PC, then like you almost
exactly I just need to upgrade my goddamn rig.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna continue just playing on the PS4, mainly just because, number one, I bought it on PS4. I didn't actually rent it, and two, like, I don't know, I don't have the time or want to upgrade the computer and have the money. I'm just like,
with your computer, you physically can't upgrade it.
No, it's but and so I'd have to get like a new computer and a bunch of other shit, and just sort of like, or I can just,
hey man, I could help you put together a sick gaming rig.
Maybe in the future. But for now, I'll deal with the quirkiness of the PS4 version. I've been, it's just like, whatever. And that's the thing about mods, is that they're fun to watch on YouTube, but for the most part, like, I mean, yeah, to your point, like, these are actually like game fixing type of mods, but like most mods are just so super dumb, and
but it's
they're
like when you
and they're great, but at the same time, it's like, I'll watch on YouTube, and then like that'll be it.
But it's kind of funny when when you're playing Fallout 4 and you have so many decisions that came from mods.
Yeah.
For Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like the whole
the clean faces.
No. Oh God, Jesus Christ! Why'd you have to remind me about that one?
Oh, that's great.
God,
So,
that's-
Aaron, I'll tell Aaron and the folks at home. In the video game Skyrim, which is the Bethesda's previous game before Fallout 4, it's a medieval fantasy type game, and everyone just kind of they basically
Everyone just perpetually like really needs a shower.
yeah, like everyone's like really dirty. Like they try to make it look as much like just a dirty, dark Middle Ages as
Right.
possible. So people made a mod for clean faces. And it was like the creepiest, weirdest thing. Just like, no, the faces are way cleaner now.
And if I remember correctly, it kind of made them look. I could be conflating mods, but they could. I vaguely remember them looking kind of vinyl-y.
Oh
with
yeah,
that
no,
turned
yeah,
on or something like that, kind
absolutely.
of very fake looking.
Because they designed it in such a way where everyone looked a little dirty. So
Yeah.
it's like when you take that away, it's just almost just like they look like a
You're-
Botox or something.
Yeah, you're removing
Yeah.
detail.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
You get
yeah,
all-
totally.
Yeah, but yeah, the mod I'm thinking of in question was like what was it? It's an acronym: Skyrim Perk Enhancement and Rebalanced Gameplay.
Oh, okay. So
The acronym for that is kind of unfortunate, but yeah, like a lot, like the perk system, I believe, in Fallout 4, as well as being able to just grab all the junk in the environment and scrap it and
Yeah.
make other things with that.
Yeah.
But that was a big part of that too, to actually make all the trash loot worth something.
Oh yeah, that's what's great because you actually like with the previous games, it's just sort of like there's really no unless you had the junk gun, there's no reason to just pick up all the trash and stuff like that. And I kind of because it's a post-apocalyptic wasteland, I almost feel like there's so many times where like you see post-apocalyptic Mad Max or Mad Max.
Yeah, you
type
should
movies.
be MacGyvering shit together.
Oh
All the
yeah,
time.
totally. So I'm
And
just
they
like,
finally did that in this game.
so I think that's really awesome.
You make baseball bombs.
I actually really like the fact that when I'm like looting shit, I'm actually looking at like tin cans, going like, "Ooh, tin cans!" or like just like
Yeah, it's like
typewriters.
Really, it's like a really strange thing to add to the whole gameplay loop there.
Yeah, but it's
You're
kind of awesome.
You're getting excited over fucking garbage.
Oh yeah, you're just like ooh,
Like how many?
like a hobo in a cartoon, like when they were just like they pick up the tin cans like ooh, yes.
like the game is training you to be a hoarder.
Yeah, something like that. But I
More so than other Bethesda RPGs.
But I do like that about it. But at the same time, at that point, like you really got to make sure you have good strength, or you have a way to increase your.
Yeah, I'm in hell because my character only has like 4 strength.
Oh yeah, so I've done that. And
Like
I've also
even with a companion, you're just like sending them back and forth, and I was like, shit.
yeah.
This is
I
not
also
great.
another good thing to do is to craft or like mod armor and make it pocketed because that increases your carry weight.
Yeah, I've been forced to resort to do that because I'm apparently a 90-pound weakling in this game.
Yeah, and so that's what's one thing where it's just like, all right, at that point, that's almost like mandatory to have a decent strength.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah,
But anyway,
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4, it's a video game.
It's a video game.
It's a video game you
Oh.
can play.
Oh, God, why didn't you just say that in the first place?
I thought you were
See-
talking about a really convoluted album.
Yeah, see, Bethesda should totally hire us to do their marketing for them.
It's a video game.
It's another video game. Do you like? Did you like Fallout 3 in New Vegas? Play Fallout 4. There you go.
It exists.
It exists.
I mean, shit, like with how, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to do now, right?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Just say, it exists.
Well, that was the thing when they announced.
When they put out Elder Scrolls 3, or Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, it's like
That's all they could say. It's just, it's out now.
yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, when they announced Fallout 4, it was basically just sort of like, "Hey, Fallout 4, it's happening," and everyone was like, "Yes!" Like, it was, and they, people like almost immediately somebody made that one like photoshopped picture of like the Pope holding up the Fallout 4 disc, and like and everyone's just like, "Oh!" So it's kind of a flawed game, but thus far it's
Well, I mean,
kind of
the flaws. Oh
Flaws.
my god, I cannot talk right now. Just drank a fucking trough of
is
coffee.
is my timing that flawed?
I mean, the flaws in Fallout 4 are kind of par for the course for a Bethesda game.
I've come across some great glitches, and I've actually
Did you see the fucking power armor one
no.
where if you, it involves the console, so it's not really a glitch.
Okay.
But if you get in the power armor and you use the console to make the power armor disappear, your character will be this like giant fucking freak of nature.
Oh, nice.
Because you've contorted to fit the proportions of the power armor.
Oh, okay, I got you. So you kind of like it's almost as if like your skin is filling up the power armor, like
like
gelatin.
Well, I mean, your like legs and arms and torso like all stretch out to fill.
Okay, I got because
and you become this horrible Slender Man looking abomination.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. I mean, that's not like a glitch you can like just accidentally have. The funny one that I have, I actually made a video of it.
I think, you know what, now I take it back. I think somebody got that to happen without using a console command.
Oh, okay.
And it was a little kid getting into the power armor. So not only did they stretch out, but they also grew to adult size.
But the one that I found, I actually saved a video of it. I don't know, maybe I'll put it on something. I don't know, but it was just the Brahmin, the two-headed cow, was in the Sanctuary Hills, which is like the first town, and somehow I got into one of the houses, and it's not possible for the Brahmin to fit in the houses, so I don't know how I got in there, but it was desperately trying to get out, and it was just like trying to fit through the doorway, and it just kept going. So I took a video of it, and at the very last second, the Brahmin just looks at me. So it's just basically just looking at the camera like, "Whoa."
Help me.
And then at one point, it
kill me.
The same Brahmin at one point later ended up on the roof as well.
I've heard about that happening a lot. Just random NPCs just winding up on roofs.
Yeah, so I know.
And it's especially shitty if you're not in a settlement, because at least you in a settlement you could build stairs to get up to them.
Oh yeah. But
yeah, Bethesda.
I kind of like stupid glitches.
They'll patch it some more.
All right.
Well, I think I'm about out of things to talk about. Well, I haven't talked in, I don't know, probably about 20 minutes.
Sorry.
I could always we could always
right.
swing the conversation back.
No, I really don't have anything else.
No, yeah, I think we've covered. I wanted to touch upon prank shows, and
You're really chomping at the bit to talk about prank shows.
I came up with it minutes before I came over here.
Mere minutes.
You're like rubbing your temples, and you're like, oh, I gotta talk about prank
When
shows.
we get to talk about prank shows.
Oh,
well, we did it.
Great.
It was a good job. Well, and next week is Thanksgiving, so we may be taking a week off, but we'll have plenty of things to talk about, hopefully.
Hopefully, at some point too, we'll get this show to the point where people are actually listening to it.
Yeah, that would be a really nice thing, actually.
That's great.
So we can continue to do this. And
life goals.
Life goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
High five.
I high-fived myself. Nobody was doing it.
My hands were literally just in my lap.
Just limp as limp could be.
I'm just like, oh, do I want to?
Do I want to? Like, no.
No.
I just said high five. Like, you didn't need to actually high five.
All right. Well, everyone, have a good rest of the week.
Hold on.
That's just fist bump.
I just
fist
bumped
yourself.
myself. Yeah.
Ow. Just be like,
oh, my knuckles. Oh, my God. Did you break your hand?
That was fucking loud.
I could just do that.
I could just, like, crack my knuckles into the microphone.
Sure, go ahead. Oh, good. God. Wow, that was just a fist. You just made a fist.
Yeah, he just did that one-handed.
I could do the...
Oh
I can do the Bruce Lee thing.
God.
And now it's devolved into stupid human tricks. I think this is time to end the podcast.
Yeah,
this
this is it. All right, everyone, have a good week. Have a good Thanksgiving.
I want you to have a good life.
Me too, actually.
I don't,
Yes.
actually.
Well, fuck you, Tom.